Everybody, welcome back to the Spurs 9501 podcast. We've just seen another abysmal performance. That seems to be the letter of the day always now after Tottenham. Dr. Tottenham has arrived and it's treated its latest patient, Ipswich Town. We've given their first win in the Premier League. Somebody told me that's the first win in the Premier League for 20 years. So
22.
22 years. So Cam, get straight into it, mate. What do you think about it? Tell me.
Unbelievable. I mean, this is one time, right, that I honestly can say to him, lost for words. And I think that all I can say is, having looked at that performance, the first half performance was so innocuous, it was so bad that, I mean, can you even pick out any passage of play or any particular player that actually shined? I can remember one shot from Solanke, I think, from outside. Yeah, we actually he took a reasonable shot, and there was one save by the goalkeeper. I can't think of any player that played well. Dragusin and Romero were average. Brennan Johnson was already looking forward to the international break because, I mean, his culpability for the goal was ridiculous. I didn't even know he was on the field half the time.
Yeah.
Kulusevski, they rave what a great season he's having. Frankly, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it anywhere, anytime this season. I just don't get it. And if somebody can please enlighten me as to why he's such a great player and what brilliant he is. Yeah, he holds on to the ball. Yes, he runs around. He has zero final ball and he can't do anything. I thought Son, to me, looked like he really cared and wanted to try and was about one of the few players that was putting in crosses, that was taking on players and was trying pretty hard, even though he didn't get well. And obviously, Bentancur's a classy player. Take those two out, and it was a bang average championship team that hadn't got a bloody clue what they were doing. And that's all I saw.
But Cam, even if we play like below our top level, we should be able to beat, one of the team that has never won a match in the Premier League. We should be able to beat them, even if we play at 50% of our top level and we couldn't beat them. So what happened? Were we out tacticked? What happened? Did Ange just screw it up? Because the players, like you said, is a good squad there. Why couldn't we beat this team?
Well, I mean, I'll go back to what Ange had to say. Ange had to say, "Oh, it's on me." They were all a bit lethargic. No one really wanted to play. I'll have to take responsibility for that. Okay, so that makes it all okay. The
Yeah, exactly.
manager's half dead himself,
Yeah.
right? He's just, oh, it's all my fault. Don't worry about it. It's my fault. I'll take responsibility for that. Well, that's not how the fans want to operate. And they started booing,
Yep.
but they haven't started calling for his head.
Why
Um,
is that? I mean, don't you think it's a good time to sack him now? Because if you lose to a team that's never won in the league, that's the bottom of the pit. That's the pit. Why not sack him now? Gives you 2 weeks to get somebody in before the international break's over.
Because I mean, he's got this way with the fans and this thing that they think that somehow his style of football is so great and so open and it's so good.
I didn't see that
Well,
today.
I'd like to ask you a question.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
If Mourinho or Conte had left us at already out of 11 games, lost five
I
games
think it's
lost,
6 now, isn't it?
five, same as the
Okay.
amount that Brentford have lost, same amount that West Ham
Okay.
have,
Yeah.
right? Uh, no team above us has lost as many games. I think it's three, not
Yeah.
even anyone there. So we're pretty poor, very, very, very poor performance. We've got a new manager at Man United, and they're about to come up.
Mm.
We have a new Chelsea are now fourth, so we can forget about them.
Mm.
My view is, where are we? We used to call ourselves mid-table bullies, but now we're being bullied by the relegation bunch.
Yeah, we're not the flat track bullies anymore. We're being bullied, as you said, by the other team. So I don't know how bad it has to get before they will actually pull the plug on this guy. I mean, the wisdom is always that if Levy doesn't get fourth, then the manager has to go. But now I don't think he even cares about fourth. As long as he gets European football, sixth or seventh, can get him into Europe, it's good enough for him. And don't forget, Ange is a cheap option. He doesn't have to pay him a lot of money. He's not demanding in the transfer window. It's a great option for Levy. So why would Levy? The only thing that's going to make Levy sack him is if people start having a go at Levy. If Levy starts getting the heat, he doesn't like that, and then he'll sack him. But this guy's going to say, mate, all right, mate, all on me, mate. What can I do, mate? And, off you go. I mean, I
Mhm.
think tactically, he just doesn't have the ability to change his plans. Look at Kieran McKenna, how tactically he outsmarted Ange. Ange didn't have a clue, did he really? Couldn't do
No.
anything.
He bought on Timo Werner at about, I think they're closer to the 60th minute, and then he bought on Madison closer to the 84th minute.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
mean,
understand that.
what is going on here,
Yeah.
Ray? What is going on?
Do you think he's
I mean,
fallen out with Madison? Because that was a game ideal for Madison that we need to pick up pass through a needle, etc., etc. But
Also, there's a bit of history there, being from Norwich and
yeah,
Ipswich and the rivalry,
yeah,
and but there was a bit of
yeah,
passion would have come in to the game. I don't know what's going on with this guy, with our manager. I
mm,
really don't know. But tactically in that game, he set them out. He left them to it. He saw they were look. The team on paper did not look so bad, but basically we know that if some of your players are not up to the standard, are not up to scratch, you're close to 1-0 down. You look like you're going to concede more. You've got to make a change. You've got to say,
yeah.
look, Kulusevski, get off. He never came off for a second.
Johnson, get
You know,
off.
you get some of the players off and freshen it up early on enough to get things going.
Yeah,
Edge can't do that.
no,
Edge can't do that. It's
can't or won't
clearly,
do that.
sorry, he can't
Can't
do
do
that.
it or won't
He
do it.
clearly plays favourites. And
Uh,
also, his mentality, and you can see from his conferences, is that of a pub team manager.
yeah,
Oh, mate, let's just have another pint, worry about it for next week. That is
fat
the
boy
kind of
and yeah,
mentality. What do you get back from him
yeah,
to say,
exactly.
that this is, we have a serious issue with, at least with Conte did a berserker on the team and went crazy. At least there was some passion there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This guy then looks down like that and is wondering, where's my next pint? I mean,
Aye.
this is a multi-million-dollar franchise here, which is just going down the tubes because of it. We got a pub manager.
And it doesn't get any easier. We've got Manchester City away after the international break, haven't we?
And I think the question is this, right? We beat Villa, who were going through a really bad phase. We beat Manchester United, going through a really bad phase. Villa
Beat
were
West
probably
Ham.
turning it around, and we beat West Ham, which were almost about to fire their manager,
Mm.
right? Now, have we beaten a team that is actually doing okay and that is there or thereabouts? No, we haven't.
I'm not sure.
We haven't beaten anyone. And when we come up against the Fulhams, when we come up against we got walloped by Newcastle. I know it was only 1-0 or whatever, but they could have run riot there.
Mm.
And when we come up against Nottingham Forest, right? And then when we come up against Brighton, I mean, we already have come up against Brighton. Look what happened there.
Yeah.
um, we have a hope and health chance of getting into Europe or getting in sixth place. And I believe that we are going to sink deeper. I think that Tottenham this year will be 12th or 13th. And it's okay. Let's all go down to the pub and get shit-faced. I mean, that's it. That's what
Yeah.
this is
I mean,
like
it's
a Sunday. It's like Sunday at Hackney
yeah,
Downs, finish there, end up
yeah,
in the pub, and it's all over.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no point
There's
talking
no
about the match. It's
passion
just,
left with the
yeah.
fans. Did you
I mean,
saw the fans sitting there?
they were booing,
They
weren't
were
they?
silent. They were quiet. It's like everyone's given up.
Yeah.
Everyone's accepted. This is what we are.
This is
What the
what we
hell?
are.
Nobody
I mean,
cares.
for the first goal, Romero misses a header and they score. Second goal, I don't know what happened there.
Well, I thought the
Drag
first
us
goal.
in.
I mean, Brennan Johnson looked applaudingly at that overhead
Yeah, but
kick.
if you look at the root cause of that, the crosses comes in
Yes.
and Romero doesn't head it away. He misses the header and,
No.
and the other guy heads it up in the end. That's where the issue came with Brennan Johnson. If Romero heads it away, there's no issue.
Second goal
Romero, what do you
again.
think of Romero? I mean, I think he's just lost it now. He's not interested. He doesn't show any passion or anything.
Well, I mean, it's what they sunk to the lowest common denominator. It's that is up to your manager to get the best out of
Yeah.
these players. He's got Dragosin in there, who's also is probably a very classy player and will do very well anywhere else, right? Apart from at Spurs. And I've got a really good feeling that if you put Bentancur in one of the top two or three teams, it'd be a constant pick to go in there. Madison will probably get into those teams. Son will probably get into those teams. And I think a lot of our players probably would. Saar would probably make it in there. Romero would be playing for Barcelona like he's never played before, right? But when they come to Spurs, they turn into a pile of dog poo.
Mm.
All of them, right? I mean, look at Davinson Sanchez, for God's sake, against Galatasaray. He looked class, looked better than any of our defenders or ever looked there with us, right?
Yeah, I know,
What
I
is
know,
it about this
I know.
club that takes good players, makes them
I'll
crap,
tell you,
they
it's
go
the curse.
tomorrow, and
It's
they
the
look
curse of
good?
Tottenham. It's the curse of Tottenham. Final thoughts then, Cam. I don't want to talk about this match too much. I'm pissed off. And also, we want to get rid of Ange, but he's not going anywhere. So what's your final thoughts? How do we move forward?
Final thoughts is it's just very much like what is going on in this club, which is that everyone's resigned, nobody cares, nobody's worried, everybody's happy with mid-table. We have become Crystal Palace and Brentford, and that we are, as long as we're safe and as long as we're comfortable and we can win a few games and play a few games and entertain the fans a little bit at home. apparently that's good enough for Tottenham now. And let's just accept it. That's who we are. We are no better than that, and we will never get better than that under this manager.
And the final thing is just to quote Daniel Levy, we got our Tottenham back.
Yeah, we got
We
our
got our
crap
Tottenham.
back.
Yeah,
And we are back to the Jerry Francis days and the old days when we were mid-table all along, right?
yeah,
And we just stayed where we are. So yeah, he got it back, and I hope you enjoy it.
yep. Okay, well, I'll still say come on, you Spurs. Give us a come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you
And
Spurs.
we'll
But
speak to you
not
on the
not with
next,
Ange.
not with Ange. Let's hope he's gone by the next time we have our podcast.
I doubt it. He
I
won't be
doubt it
gone this
myself.
time next year. I think I'll get another 2 seasons to destroy the club before he
Okay.
goes anywhere.
Okay. Thanks very much. We'll see you on the next podcast, Cam. Take care. Thank you.
Right.
Bye bye.